Hi, this is Dale Byron with Heartwork Podcast, and I want to talk a little bit today about the idea of passage, the price of our passage through these difficult times, ecologically, politically. And I have a little piece today called The Price of Our Passage, and I think it speaks to this in these times. In the fall, we are called to our journey. In fall, we are called to our journey to leave all that's known, especially summoned to gratefulness for glorious harvest, called to kindly help each other home, to be bolstered and to bolster, to be supported and to support. And yes, in the rearview mirror, often growing smaller, our feelings of safety, of competence, and calm. All such a modern anxiety, hefty doses of uncertainty, making of our lives a tight wire walk of anguish and joy, the difficulties, conundrums, and perilous paradoxes, each and all the price of our passage, each and all the price of our passage. So I am in the middle of teaching a class at the Fromm Institute at the University of San Francisco about rewilding the soul. Rewilding the mind is actually what it's called, and also the soul. And we are using poetry as a way of working with the difficulties that we find in our lives individually and collectively, and again, meaning politically and also ecologically in particular. And so this idea that it is fall, it is that period of time, literally and metaphorically, where things are shifting, things are dying, things are changing, and we are getting ready for a new kind of spring. And so this is what we are working with this wonderful group of people, and also what I was working with as I made these notes. And I said further, as I was musing on this, it is fall. It is fall for the cultural stories that can no longer be. It is fall for the cultural stories that can no longer be. And we know those cultural stories are no longer working, even though they may have done magnificent, wonderful things for us in the past. But it is now fall for the cultural stories that can no longer be. We must gently hospice them in order to birth the new. It is autumn. It is the autumn season for scarcity, the feeling that there's never enough. We've been talking in these classes and in this work about the idea that advertisements and advertising and all of that is all about telling us that what we have now is not enough, that there's scarcity, and that what we need to do is grab and get more and more and more. That's the message, one of the cultural stories that we can no longer afford. It is autumn for scarcity, the feeling there's never enough. It is fall for believing we're separate from Mother Earth, falling away especially the delusion of infinite growth and this violent perpetuation within our finite space. Yes, it is fall for any philosophy that does not place our Mother Earth clearly at the center. Yes, it is fall for any philosophy that does not place our Mother Earth clearly at the center. And it is spring. And it is spring for sun, moon, river, mountain, keystone spirit, miracles, magic, souls stirring. And it is spring for sun, moon, river, mountain, keystone spirit, miracles, magic, souls striving. You know, the great poet, Spanish poet, Pablo Neruda, Spanish speaking poet, Pablo Neruda. He once said, perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive, The metaphor that's showing up in this musing that I've just shared has to do with fall, has to do with what we must gently hospice, the stories that are no longer working, the cultural stories, the new cultural stories that must be birthed, and the old stories that must be gently and reverently and respectfully hospiced, but hospiced nonetheless. Thank you so much for your listening ear. Until next time and next poem, please take good care of yourself. And if you can, someone else.